Hello, hello. Welcome back to Tarot with Josh here. This is going to be another pick a card reading. My name is Josh, and this is Tarot with Josh. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump right in here. So just take a moment here. I'll show you what cards we got for our pick a card. You can kind of sit with it, decide which one you feel most drawn to, and then you can go ahead and jump into your reading there. So we're going to start off here. We got for pile number one. We got the Lunar Dragon here. Very cool looking card. Really love it. It's a really cool card. And then for pile number two, we have the Solar Dragon. I swear I didn't intentionally make it so that there was a sun and a moon. It's just what came out. And then for pile number three, we also have Fertility. And it's number three too. So I don't know. If you like the number three, maybe you want to pick pile number three. I don't know. You make your decision. Trust your intuition. Awesome. Cool. So, just a quick disclaimer. Please take what resonates with these readings and leave what doesn't. These are collective readings, so not everything's going to resonate for everybody, right? And if it does all resonate for you, well, then this is really meant for you. um, yeah, cool. So, let's go ahead and jump right in. Hello, pile number one. If you chose the Lunar Dragon card here, this is going to be your reading. And right away, when I pulled this card, I was immediately drawn to the colors on it. First of all, it looks kind of like an aurora borealis going on in the background, which is pretty cool. If you've never seen that before in your life, I highly recommend taking a trip out to Alaska or something, or somewhere up north to go and see it. Recently, just saw it for the first time this last summer, and ooh, that was incredible. Super cool. Literally can't even speak words how cool it was. But anyway, maybe that's some sort of message for you. Maybe you're into Brother Bear at all. I had very much had a Brother Bear moment. If you were into Brother Bear, it was it was so good. Okay, anyway, but something else that really jumped out at me immediately was these pillars on the side here. Kind of gives very never-ending story vibes. That was the first thing that I thought of was never-ending story when I saw those. And then also there's this like interesting like it's like a new moon going on there, like completely like blacked out moon, but still kind of glowing a little bit from the other side of the moon, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is in correspondence with the moon card from the major arcana of the Rider Waite Tarot. And since we have incredible little commentary things in this booklet, we're going to read from that. So let's see what it says for the moon. It says, the lunar dragon controls the ebb and flow of energies from the tides of the sea to the emotions of humankind. It challenges us to see our inner darkness and fears, to face them honestly and learn from them. So often we limit ourselves by looking only at one side of things rather than seeing the whole picture. There can be no yin without yang, no day without night, and one always leads inevitably towards the other. Indeed, this is the power of the lunar dragon. Very cool. You that's something that you may need to like pay more attention to, make sure you're kind of doing trying to look at both sides of some sort of situation or something. I don't know. I want to feeling called to read the actual meaning here for like when you're pulling it or whatever. It says, drawing the lunar dragon challenges us to look deeply within ourselves and understand the true nature of our divinity. We hold within us the energies of good and bad, light and dark. If we try to ignore the darkness, we fall prey to illusion, deception, dishonesty, and foolishness. However, if we can see ourselves honestly, we gain discernment and the ability to break all illusions. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. And I think this is very prevalent to kind of what a lot of people may be going through right now. I mean, there's a lot of things out there, a lot of illusions, a lot of misinformation, stuff like that. So I feel like there's a big call in the general collective of everybody to look honestly within ourselves, look at both sides of ourselves, look inward, and then gain that discernment to look through the illusions, either self illusions or illusions projected onto us from other people. So, pretty cool place to start here. Now, I would want to jump in to what we got for our next cards. I pulled a couple cards here. I got a card from our Getting Into the Vortex deck by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And then we also have a Crystal Healing card here, which we're going to get into at the end of the reading. I think that's going to be much better because these tend to give us a little bit of a healing visualization thing. So I feel like that maybe that'll feel a little bit better at the end. I don't know. We'll try it out and we'll see. Okay, so first of all, with the Getting Into the Vortex card from Esther and Jerry Hicks, if you don't know who they are, you might know the name Abraham Hicks. And if you don't know who that is, well, maybe you'd want to go and look them up. I don't know if this sounds like something interesting. Really, what they talk about is just like the law of attraction, getting into alignment with source, and stepping into your vortex, which is kind of like basically how to manifest easier. They talk about some really cool stuff. So if you feel interested in that, you might want to go and look them up. But this card here says, I can always enter my vibrational vortex of creation. So that's exactly what they talk about is this concept of this vortex. And it's this vibrational vortex, which is like when you're vibrating in alignment with source, with yourself, you are in that mode of creation and you're not, you don't let anything kind of get to you. It's kind of the idea. So let's see what it says on the back here. And I'll hold it up like this so you can kind of look at the card while I read it. Yeah. So we got the key to getting inside your vibrational vortex of creation, of experiencing the absolute absence of resistance, of achieving complete alignment with all that you have become and all that you desire, and of bringing your physical experience, everything that you desire, is being in the state of appreciation, and there is no more important object of attention to which you must flow your appreciation than that of self. Very cool. So kind of what they're talking about there is like the the key to stepping into that flow state of co-creation with the universe, manifestation, all that is all about appreciation and appreciation with one's self. Kind of appreciating all the work that you've put into yourself. Maybe you've done a lot of that work from the moon card here. A lot of that, like looking at yourself on the good and the bad, bringing all that in, and even appreciating, even if you haven't done a ton of work, appreciating whatever it is you have done towards yourself. Maybe you've even been working on yourself in one way or another, and I think it's very important to have appreciation for ourselves, even if we haven't. Like literally, just appreciating the fact that like we're here today, breathing air, and we woke up this morning and got out of bed, and we can appreciate that too. I think it's absolutely worthwhile to sit in appreciation with that for sure. So very cool energy to start off here. So now let's pull some tarot and see what messages might want to come through with that for you today. Goodness. Do I want to take all those? I think we will. I'll just take that as is too. I've been trying to like determine whether or not I like taking reversals or not, and I feel like for the most part, not so much. But every so often, it feels like it's just right. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough for us for now, at least. Awesome. So, what we have here is we got 5 of Swords. So maybe there's been a decent amount of contemplation for you recently. Maybe especially if you've been sitting in this sort of moon energy of like looking at yourself, honestly, looking at the good and bad parts of yourself and trying to kind of bring those into alignment. Maybe you've been sitting in this kind of contemplation energy. Then we also got the Two of Wands here, which again feels like kind of, I mean, this guy's kind of looking down almost at like all of his creation, like really looking at everything there. I don't know. We'll get more into that card in a moment. But we also got the Four of Wands here. Very cool. Usually very much union energy, completion energy, celebration. Very cool stuff there. So maybe you're kind of reaching a, a cool milestone with this journey of like maybe stepping into your vortex and dealing with that moon energy as well here. Um, then we got the Hermit that came out in reverse. So I feel like, especially if you have been sitting in this contemplation energy and you've probably been in a pretty decent Hermit mode there, but maybe we're kind of starting to take a step out, put ourselves out there a little bit, and in a honest and true way that's in alignment with ourselves and with our personal vortex of creation, which is pretty cool. Um, and we also got the Eight of Pentacles here, so it feels like you've kind of been working on something. I mean, look at that guy. He's definitely working on these pentacles pretty hard. Yeah, so maybe you've been really working hard on something, some sort of creation or hobby, or maybe some new project at work or something. And then we also got the Four of Swords here, which I'm not super getting anything from necessarily. Well, I want to take a look at the book on that one. But then we also got the Six of Cups here, which I think, if you've been putting yourself out there, or starting to put yourself out there, stepping out of this hermit energy, then I feel like maybe you're starting to kind of find some people who will come in and be able to you know, help you out with this or make you feel better. Or maybe if you've been feeling pretty isolated and you're not seeing anybody coming in or anything like that, maybe this is just a sign saying that they're coming. People are coming. And hold your horses. Be a little patient. Patience is a virtue, you know. But anyway, let's take a look at that Four of Swords here. Because I really was getting just absolutely nothing for that one. So let's see what we got. Four of Swords. Contemplation, meditation, relaxation, and rest. Yeah, I think maybe you're really like learning this balance of contemplating, but then also putting yourself out there and like not getting too sucked up in one or the other thing, especially like it can be very easy with this moon energy to get sucked up in all the in like one side or the other. And yeah, it's literally calling us to take a step back, look at everything, kind of balance things together. And then if you're, and maybe you're kind of, when you are in those moments of contemplation and relaxation, rest or whatever, or meditation, you're really sitting in that appreciation of either what you have in your life or what you're building or what you are, or of yourself. Very nice. Yeah, let's look at the Two of Wands here as well. There's another one I didn't really get much out of. So it says focus, decisions, discovery, and planning. So yeah, I mean, especially maybe you really are like starting to find some sort of passion or something that you're working really hard on, and you're starting to find this groove of like working on it and discovering a way to do to work with it and planning for it and really focusing in on this. Maybe this is something that you struggled with a lot in the past, and maybe since we've been working so well with the moon energy here, we're finally getting to a point where we're able to really work with this energy and bring things into it, we're able to focus and stick to something that we may have had trouble doing in the past. I mean, especially if this is something that you're passionate about, um, but you've still for some reason struggled to do so or stick with something in the past. And I feel like now we're starting to see, after working on ourselves and coming to a state of appreciation with ourselves and stepping more into that vortex, a we're seeing all these things start to come together, and maybe we're feeling a lot more energy to be able to do the things that we want to do, which is really fucking cool. That's awesome. I love this for you. This is super, super good, cool energy. Now I want to take a look at our crystal healing card here. Um, I guess if you're still feeling any sort of like there's anything still blocking you or anything, maybe you want to get this crystal, work with it a little bit. If you're that kind of person who enjoys working with crystals or whatever. So this one we got, all of these are tied to some sort of chakra in our body. And this one is tied to the root chakra here. And what you got is red hematite there. You can see that decently well. And red hematite is a wound healer, and the physical qualities are brings energizing life force, provides strong and immediate healing to entire physical body and tissues, can treat anemia, assist in wound healing and tissue regeneration, helps increase iron in body, detoxifies, purifies, and oxygenates blood. So that's pretty cool. And then for the emotional qualities, we got strengthens meditative focus, provides courage, protection, emotional strength, and a sense of security, deflects emotional negativity, balances and integrates the physical and spiritual energies, and protects against toxic relationships. It says, I am restored at the bottom here in quotes. Very cool. It seems like really cool little crystal to work with here, especially if you feel like you're struggling in any of those areas. Or just maybe even not necessarily struggling, just feel like you may need a little bit of a boost in those areas too. Yeah, so let's take a look at what it says for the healing that you can actually do in this beautiful little book that comes with it. All right, red hematite. So healing wounds. So this is kind of just a little healing that it gives if you have a lot of these crystals. Usually, because it usually is asking for quite a few crystals to work with here, and not everyone will have that. But if you are somebody who has a bunch of crystals, then you can kind of actually actively do this healing here. But there's also, I think, an element of visualization that you can just do with this. Anyway, I can get into that a little bit later. But let's see what it says. So, it says surround yourself with alternating red hematite and amethyst crystals placed about 6 inches from your body. Place the first amethyst over your crown and one of the red hematite crystals beneath your feet. Place another red hematite on your root chakra at the base of your spine and one over your physical heart. Place a smaller red hematite on your upper chest over each lung as well as the bottom of your rib cage. Place one atop each hip bone so you can also place red hematite on top of any wound you have, ensuring the wound is first clean and bandaged if necessary. If you have a larger wound, surround it with red hematite. Once the hematite crystals are on or around any wounds, place small hematite crystals beneath each knee and elbow. In addition to healing specific wounds, this positioning of red hematite crystals will help strengthen your entire bodily structure and bring healing to all your tissues. Finally, hold a red hematite in each hand. So again, if you have a lot of red hematite, these healings kind of do tend to call for a lot of them. So I understand if you don't have them all, but this is where it gets cool because once you have all the red hematite crystals in place, relax and breathe comfortably. Allowing the red hematite energy to flow into your subtle body, imagine your body being filled with red healing light. So you can still just sit and imagine that red healing light filling your body, even if you don't have these crystals. And then you can also imagine the light flowing towards specific wound in the body to assist healing. Continue this healing for at least 30 minutes. So you can kind of use this as a bit of a visualization, like a bit of a could maybe turn on some meditative music or something and do a little bit of a personal guided meditation with this red healing energy. Yeah, very cool stuff. Very beautiful things to do there. Love that for you. Yeah, it sounds like you're doing pretty great. You're on the right track, and you're working hard. I'm excited to see what it is that you're working on. And if you want to share that at all, you could leave a little comment down below. I think I'm going to end this pile off here, though. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you got something out of this or just want to show your appreciation in any way, you can leave a like down below as well. And if you want to join me on this journey, then you can leave a subscribe. And don't forget to put that notification bell on if you want to be notified when I post another upload, okay? All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. And yeah, love you. Bye. All right, hello, pile number two. If you picked the Solar Dragon here, this is your reading. Pretty cool card we got here. I mean, it's of course it's the Sun card from the Major Arcana, and what I'm immediately seeing here is the this dragon's kind of holding to things here, and what it reminds me of is the you know how like the pharaohs um, will be buried with like two items in their hands, and usually they're crossed like this. So that's I think kind of a similar thing here. Maybe if Egypt's significant to you, that might be another further confirmation that this reading's for you. And yeah, very cool stuff. Oh, it's lots of Egyptian energy here, especially with that stuff up at the top there. Very Egyptian style. Very cool. Let's see what it says in our little booklet for the solar dragon here. So it says for the commentary, the solar dragon holds the energies of the sun, the great life giver and illuminator. Without the sun, there would be no life. Spiritually, it brings enlightenment, the ability to see things from a fresh perspective. The solar dragon also reminds us that we too are filled with light, and it is this light that gives us the ability to create our own reality. Pretty cool, pretty cool. The meaning here says drawing the solar dragon is indeed a good omen. There is great potential for you to step into a new energy, to walk through a doorway into a new understanding of the mysteries of life. The sun warms and nurtures, and so indicates reaping the rewards of work done. It brings satisfaction, joy, abundance, and unconditional love. With its sense of renewal, this card inspires us to look at things in a new light. So maybe that's something you've been doing in your life is looking at things in a new light, or maybe something you're being called to do is try and look at things in a bit of a new light here. Um, very cool stuff. Very beautiful energy here. Now, what I want to do is jump into the other cards that we got here. So I got cards from the Getting Into the Vortex deck, which is from Esther and Jerry Hicks. If you don't know who they are, you might want to look them up. You may also know the name Abraham Hicks at all. They basically just talk about stepping into your vortex, getting in alignment with source, and talking about the law of attraction a lot. So kind of that manifestation energy here. So they have a ton of lectures online if you want to look them up at all and are at all interested. I highly recommend. They're very cool. Then I also have a card here from the Crystal Healing deck here, but we'll look at that one at the end because I think I'm playing around with it, and it feels a little bit better putting it at the end, I think. So, okay. What we got for your Getting Into the Vortex card is this guy right here, nice purpley energy. But it says, I have the power to direct my own thoughts. So maybe that's something you've been struggling with a little bit here is like directing your thoughts. Maybe this is here as a reminder that you have the power to control your own thoughts. You give your thoughts the power, whether or not. And if you're kind of struggling with that too, maybe some practicing some meditation might help you out. But what it says on the back here, so you can kind of look at it while I read it, says, Your thoughts do create the reality that you live. And one of the most exciting things about being in the process of deliberately focused thought is. Okay, let me reread that. And one of the most exciting things about beginning the process of deliberately focused thought is that the law of attraction will bring you evidence of your improved thought immediately. And while old patterns may be hard to break, and you may slip back into old patterns from time to time, evidence of your effort will be undeniable to you. And before long, with much less effort than you spent trying to dodge negative conversations or train another into better behavior, all of your relationships will improve. So you know how we can kind of feel like we're trying to train other people into behaving better or treating us a little bit better. Maybe if you kind of focus on the thoughts that you're having and trying to have better, more positive thoughts, you're going to have a bit better of a time improving your relationships with that than you would trying to control others. Um, I don't know if that's a message for anybody. If it doesn't feel like that applies to you, of course, don't take it. But yeah, with much less effort than you spent trying to dodge negative conversations as well. If you just try and have a positive frame of mind, you like, hey, that maybe reframe those negative conversations as maybe being a little bit more positive. Maybe just something that kind of conversation that's there to actually show you a little bit more about yourself that you may be trying to avoid in some way. I don't know. Very cool stuff. So let's hop into the tarot here, see what cards I want to pop out. So you can kind of focus your energy on the deck here, and I'll ask that your spirit guides come through with any messages you may need to hear. Very interesting. So if you felt called at all to pile number one, I'd suggest you go and take a look, because we did got one of the cards that came through for pile number one coming through for you as well here. So if you felt at all called, and plus it's the moon and sun kind of energy for pile one and two here, so I feel like they're maybe a little intrinsically connected here. Okay. And we're getting some threes energy here as well, so maybe you felt called to pile number three as well here. Okay, anything else, Spirit? Anything else for pile number two? I mean, it sounds like you guys might just be here for the whole reading if you're feeling called to all the three piles. Look, I'm not going to complain if you watch all the videos. Okay, that'd be pretty cool. Of course, don't have to. Um, Only if you feel called to. Okay, yeah, that's feeling like that's it. Okay, so we got the Ten of Pentacles that came through, as well as the Eight of Pentacles. We got the Page of Cups, Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Pentacles is the one that came through for pile number one. So, if it feels like you've been really working on something, which it seems like you probably have been, maybe you've been working on this, like the power of your thoughts and trying to focus on thinking more positively, or at least stepping out of those negative thought loops that can really take a hold of us sometimes. That's It feels like you've been working really hard on that, and I feel like with the Ten of Pentacles here, you're probably finding some success in that at this point, or at least you will be finding some success in that soon. So stick with it. If you're not seeing that success just yet, just keep sticking with it. Keep working on yourself. You got this. I know you do. And we also got the Three of Pentacles here, which has three people on it. It usually talks about like kind of friendship, like working together, collaborating with other people. So maybe this, maybe you have been trying to work together with people, but maybe finding a little bit of trouble with those, like slightly negative thought patterns, and you're maybe finding, if you have been working through this and you are finding yourself in a good spot with this, you're probably seeing that your relationships are starting to get better. um, and if not, then I think this is saying that your relationships will start to get better very soon, especially if you're stepping into that energy. And we also have the Three of Wands here, so maybe you're kind of planning and strategizing ways that you can interact in your relationships a little bit better, um, especially with this kind of focus on this positive thought process here. And I think with the solar dragon here is we're also kind of seeing this energy of like seeing things in a bit of a new light, which is really awesome. You love to see things in a new light, especially a bit more positive of a light here. It's very good, very good. And then we also have the Page of Cups here, which I think I want to look at the book to see what that one says. I'm feeling called to look in here. Page of Cups, Page of Cups. Don't really remember what this one talks about. Page of Cups says confidence, happiness, contentment, and insight. So, yeah, maybe through this process, you're finding some really big insights that are giving you this confidence, happiness, and contentment, which is a pretty cool energy to be in, especially seeing things in a new light can really do that for you. So, I'm really happy for you that you're finding some success in this. I think there is a lot of success here going on. Now, I don't ever remember. The Ace of Wands always pulls up, and I don't remember. So the Ace of Wands says action, balance, change, and productivity. So yeah, maybe you're starting to take action on these more positive thoughts, or this new positive perspective that you're seeing in your life. Seems like you're really something big has been illuminated in your life recently, or is being illuminated here in the present, or about to be illuminated for you. There's again, this is collective, so take what resonates here for you. Yeah, seems like there's a lot of really cool energy here. We're seeing a lot of things very clearly, maybe for the first time, or maybe for the first time in a long time. um, or like, I don't know, I feel like most people recently have been feeling pretty down and out about a lot of things. So I think it's pretty cool to see that there's this shift of perspective for some people. I know I've been having my own shifts of perspectives lately, and been seeing things in a little bit more positive of a light. Um, yeah, it can be very easy to get trapped in that negative thought patterns and like thinking that the world's against you. When if you take a step back and like really look at things, and realize that the world's not really against you. Just been a little too caught up in your head. So, yeah. Um, Very awesome stuff here. I'm loving this energy so far. So, let's go ahead and hop into our crystal healing card here. So each of these crystals are in alignment with one of the chakras in our bodies. This one's in alignment with the heart chakra here. And what you've got is rhodochrosite? Rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite? Rhodochrosite. I'm going to say it's rhodochrosite. It's a cool looking crystal there. I mean, look at that. That's awesome. And then what it says underneath is the love crystal. So maybe you're finding some sort of self love or love for others around you. Especially with this new perspective, you're probably seeing a little bit of, probably feeling a little bit more love for the people around you, which is pretty awesome. So we got the love crystal here. It says for physical qualities. So if you are a person who's into crystals and doing some sort of crystal healing here, this kind of tells us a little bit of what their qualities are, and then we'll get into a little healing that you can do with crystals here in a moment as well. So the physical qualities are helps to heal physical heart conditions and stabilize the heartbeat, regulates blood pressure, improves circulation, and helps alleviate physical trauma in organs, soft tissues, and bones. Supports lung health as well. And then the emotional qualities are heals emotional trauma, especially related to prior abuse and early childhood wounds, brings self acceptance, instills love, inner joy, empathy, and compassion, transmutes negativity into positivity. Also, if you don't have these crystals or you feel like getting into them or whatever, maybe this is a crystal that you want to go and look into, grab, and maybe kind of work with a little bit here. And on the bottom it says, I am kind and caring, in quotes here. Um, Very cool stuff. Very, very cool crystal. I kind of want to pick some of this stuff up too. It seems pretty cool to me. So let's go ahead and hop into the book here, which will give us a little bit of a healing that we can do with this crystal. Some ways that we can work with this crystal here. Ooh, wow. Just flipping through here, I found this watermelon tourmaline, which looks really cool. I just love. I think that the crystals could be so cool, even if you don't believe in like the healing qualities of them. Which I'm not saying I don't, but even if you don't, like, they're just so cool, you know. Anyway, So this is going to be a bit of a healing that you can do to work with these crystals. Now, these usually call for quite a bit of these crystals, and I understand if you maybe don't have this many or don't want to get this many or whatever. But I think there is still some cool healing that you can do with this anyway. So there still might be something here for you anyway. Okay. So it says healing emotional trauma. Which maybe this is kind of where these negative thought processes are kind of coming from. So maybe doing this healing work might help you work through these negative thought processes a little bit better. So it says you want to create a circle around your body with alternating amethyst and rhodochrosite crystals and lie down in its center. Then place an amethyst over your crown chakra with its termination point toward your head. Place another amethyst on either side of your waist, their points facing toward the body, and another beneath your feet, pointing toward your feet. Place one or two rhodochrosite crystals between each amethyst, making sure they are spaced equidistant from one another. Then place another rhodochrosite on your heart chakra to amplify the effects of the rhodochrosite. Surround it with four rose quartz crystals, one above, one below, and one on either side. Hold a rhodochrosite in each hand. Hold a rhodochrosite in each hand. Once the crystals are in place, breathe gently and imagine the breath flowing in and out of your heart chakra. So this is where even if you don't have these crystals, you can kind of work through this sort of healing, and you can think and sit in a little bit of meditation with this as well. This might also help you out. Okay. Um, so you can breathe gently in and out and imagine your breath flowing in and out of your heart chakra. Feel your heart chakra expanding with powerful pink, loving energy and light. Silently repeat these words to yourself. I now forgive all who have harmed me. I now forgive myself for the ways I have harmed others. I now allow love into my life and my soul. Pretty cool. I'm going to actually say that again because it's pretty cool. I now forgive all who have harmed me. I now forgive myself for the ways I have harmed others. I now allow love into my life and my soul. Pretty cool. If you find yourself struggling to find forgiveness, remain open and willing to consider it, if only for this meditation. And on the topic of forgiveness, I kind of have had a moment recently, kind of an epiphany moment, where I realized that forgiveness is not so much for the other person. It can be kind of hard to forgive somebody, especially if they've hurt you in some way. It can be really hard to forgive them because it can feel like, oh, I'm just saying that what they did is okay, and that's not what's going on there. You're not saying that what they did is okay. Forgiving is releasing them from for yourself. It's kind of releasing the harm that they did to you, and how can I explain this? It's kind of releasing the harm that they did to you in order to allow yourself to live in a little bit, to live without that sitting on you, rather than getting upset at them and like wishing harm upon them, or hoping that like something bad ends up happening to them or whatever. You can just release that, forgive them, let it go, and then you'll find that some things will move a little easier in your body. You may even feel something immediately in your body when you do that. It's pretty cool stuff. Forgiveness is pretty cool, and a pretty cool thing to work with. And I think remembering that forgiveness does not mean that you allow this person that what they did is okay. It just means that you're not going to hold it against them, and you're not going to let it bog you down because of this thing that's happened. Okay. So just remember that can kind of it can be kind of hard to remember that sometimes, but I think if we do and we remember that forgiveness honestly is a pretty selfish act if you think about it in that way, but I think that that's an okay thing. I think that it's makes it a little bit easier to forgive, and um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, pretty cool stuff here for you. I hope you've gotten something out of this reading here, and if you have, you want to show your appreciation, you can go ahead and leave a like down below. And if you want to share anything about your where you're at here with this, maybe even what resonated, what didn't resonate, you can go ahead and leave that down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, if you want to follow along this journey of doing some tarot readings, then you can go ahead and subscribe, leave a notification bell, turn the notification bell on if you want to be notified the next time I post an upload. And then, yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. Yeah, have a beautiful one. See ya. Bye. All right. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose this fertility card here, then this is your pile. Now, I immediately when I look at this, I mean, it's the fertility card. I believe this is connected with the high priestess card, which is interesting because I haven't heard of like a fertility type deal coinciding with the high priestess. Usually, it's all about like the intuition. You're kind of like studying stuff or um, coming to this place of knowledge through study. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. Maybe you're giving birth to something new here. Maybe you are literally pregnant. Maybe you are not so much literally pregnant, or maybe you're just feeling like you're uh, starting to live in a new energy here. Maybe there's a renewal here in your life. Um, but yeah, let's see what it says in the Imperial Dragon Oracle uh, little booklet here. No. So no, it's the Empress, not the High Priestess. So that is different energy there for sure. Um, so the Empress is all about that divine feminine energy, which makes a lot of sense, especially with what this card is. I mean, you got the sick dragon sitting behind this very beautiful woman, and yeah. Anyway, you got energy is the abundance of Mother Nature, keyword meaning fruitfulness. So maybe you're finding a lot of abundance in your life, or this is a sign that you're about to start to find a lot of abundance in your life, maybe with a new endeavor that you're starting to think about doing or something like that. But let's see what this commentary says. It says, bountiful Earth Mother springs forth from even the most barren of ground, and with time we'll turn it back to rich fertile land. She is filled with hope, love, and joy, and uses these energies to bring new opportunities through the union of opposite and sometimes contradictory forces. She brings abundance in all its forms, from simply having food on your table every day to possessing the resources to bring your dreams into reality. Very cool. So yeah, maybe you're starting to see like some resources come in for your dreams, or maybe you will see that soon, or maybe you're just starting to really see the amount of abundance that you do have in your life. Also, maybe this could be a call to look at take a moment and take a look around and look at all the abundance that you do have in your life, because it can be very easy to sit in that scarcity mindset. But I think if we take a moment and just look around, we'll find that we actually do live a pretty abundant life, even already. I know it can be hard with worries of money struggles, or especially recently, economy ain't in the best place right now. So it can be kind of hard to like sit in that energy of abundance. But I think it's very important, most important now more than ever, to really look around and see what we really do have in our life and be appreciative of that. Um, Now, the meaning here says it is a time pregnant with possibilities, with great things, when great things can be accomplished. Follow your natural instincts, look to Mother Nature for inspiration, and you will know when to sow and when to harvest. This faith applies not only to external ventures, but to inner spiritual work also. You can make progress on your path if you align yourself to the energies of the land you live on. That's so cool. I love that energy so much. This is such a cool way to. I'm loving this energy for pile 3 here. So let's go ahead and hop into our next card here. Now, this comes from the Getting Into the Vortex deck, which is from Esther and Jerry Hicks. If you know who Abraham Hicks is, Esther and Jerry Hicks are related to him, I believe, in some way. I think Esther is his daughter. But if you don't know who they are, then you might want to look them up. I think there's some really cool, very, very, very interesting lectures that they have done and have all over the internet. But if you don't know who they are, they talk about kind of the laws of attraction, stepping into your vortex, which is like this idea of like being in alignment with source, with yourself, with the highest version of yourself in order to easily attract and create your life, easily manifest here some stuff. So very cool stuff. If you feel interested, I highly recommend you go and look them up. They have really cool stuff. I could not do them justice here, right? So yeah. Anyway, what the card that you pulled that we got for your pile here? Goodness gracious, lots of energy for whatever reason. But what we got here is inspired action is always pleasurable action, right? So I mean, anytime we got if we're feeling inspired to act in some sort of way, it's gonna probably be pleasurable because that's your soul telling you what you want to do. Let's see what it says on the back here. So you can kind of take a look at this card while I read the back. This says, the dominance of your thoughts is what brings everything to you and is what is behind the action that you offer. By seeking good feeling thoughts that align with your source, your action will then always feel good. You cannot muster enough action to compensate for misaligned thought, but action that is inspired from aligned thought is always pleasurable action. So it's talking about aligning our thoughts with our source, which is that who we are on the inside, deep, deep, deep down. If you're not there, maybe you need to want to take a look in and see where you are, who you are. Remember who you are. Lion King, pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I think like when you got your thoughts in alignment with who you are and everything, then any action that you take is going to be pleasurable action because the actions that you take are going to be in alignment with the thoughts that you have, which are in alignment with you. Pretty cool stuff. And it says, yeah, and there's like kind of a call there of like if you're not thinking in alignment with yourself, then every action that you take is not going to be in alignment. You can't overcome that misalignment with your thoughts with action, which is an interesting thought process, right? Anyway, I think that's pretty cool. And then we also have this crystal healing card, but we'll get into that at the end here, just because I think it gives a neat little healing that you can do if you're into crystals and all that stuff. But even if you're not, there's still some stuff in there for you. But anyway, right now we're gonna get into tarot here. So we're gonna just let whatever messages need to come through or want to come through for you at this time. Ask that your spirit guides, please, that are in alignment with the highest level of unconditional love and light, to come through with any messages that you may want to or need to hear at this time. So you can kind of focus your energy on the cards here, if you would like. Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come through here. Lots of cups energy, which is very interesting. Ooh. Oh my goodness, so many things going down to the floor. Okay, anything else, Spirit? I don't think so. Okay. So, let's take a look at what we got. Immediately, we got Temperance here. We also got the Ten of Cups, Page of Cups, Four of Cups, Ace of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands here. Now, I'm feeling called to look in the book for a moment here, so bear with me. So, I mean, I'm feeling like, we're stepping into this like fertile space, either within ourselves. Maybe we are really realize like trying to follow that inspired action for ourselves, right? Um, and I feel like through doing that, we're finding ourselves in this fertile space. And I think something that's important to remember as we step into this, and something, even if we're taking inspired action and seeing these things, I think they in on this card it said, oh wait, maybe not. But there was the card in pile number 2 said something about immediately seeing the results. And I think here maybe there is a thought of like, oh, I'm going to immediately see these results when I get into that. And it's very easy to think that, but that doesn't isn't necessarily true. You won't necessarily immediately see the results. Sometimes things do take a little bit of time, especially if you've done a lot of work internally and have made big changes in yourself internally. It can take some time for the 3D world to kind of catch up to that, especially if you're interacting with people and environments and stuff that are more connected with the old version of you than the new version of you. It may take some time for that environment either to update or to shift and change into whatever it is that is actually in alignment with the new version of you, right? And so that's why I feel like, we got the temperance card here kind of reminding us to stay patient. Remember that things do take time sometimes and everything happens in divine timing. Um, and this process of kind of like patience with the universe also can temper ourselves into the kind of person who doesn't wait around for certain things to happen, doesn't need certain things to happen to be happy. I think there's kind of that call to find happiness within ourselves with where we're at right now, which can be very important, and we also have the 10 of cups here. The 10 of cups and the page of cups came out in the reverse, and for the 10 of cups, what it says in reverse is there's broken relationships, neglect, incompletion, misalignment. So I feel like that's kind of speaking to um, that misaligned action, that misaligned thought, and that's maybe aligned action, but maybe a misaligned thought behind the action. I feel like that's kind of speaking to that, and that kind of process of doing things and being in that way can really break apart your relationships, especially like so ultimately the truth will come out. And if you're doing things from a space of negativity or jealousy or envy or anything like that, then I think ultimately that other person's going to feel that, even if not in that moment. On some level, they will feel that and they will know that. Um, and I think through that, being misaligned in that way, that's exactly how you'll end up seeing some things start to fall apart. And maybe there's a bit of a neglect of oneself within that cycle going on right there. Um, so let's see. The Page of Cups here also came in reverse, and that says immaturity, insecurity, apathy, and impulsiveness. So maybe that's a little bit of kind of what's going on a little bit under the surface. Maybe these are just areas that we can look at ourselves that are a little bit misaligned with our inspired actions. There's not enough actions in the world that can overcome doing things out of a space of immaturity or out of a space of insecurity or out of a space of apathy or just being impulsive. Sometimes those impulsive tendencies can really get in our way. So yeah, and then we also have the Four of Cups here, which is talking all about, maybe I mean, yeah, look, this guy's sitting in meditation underneath this tree, and then this cup is just kind of floating to him. So maybe there's a little bit here of like sitting in meditation, sitting with these thoughts that are misaligned. Can maybe you'll see either them dissipate a little bit, or you'll maybe start to see this cup start to float towards you in this way when you sit down and really sit with this energy. Um, I think it's important to remember that you don't need to beat yourself up if this is something that you're feeling. Um, that's just going to make things harder. It's I think it's just important to remember like um, it's a very human thing to get caught up in. You know, it's very easy to get caught up in maybe some sort of resentment or apathy with the world, especially right now with so many negative things being pushed in our face all the time. It's very easy to feel that apathy and to kind of come out of alignment with ourselves, or maybe start doing stuff from a space of a bit of misalignment. And then we got the Ace of Wands here as well. Um, uh, I don't know why I'm really just feeling called to use the book here with these cards. I've been Okay. So for the Ace of Wands, it says inspiration, potential, creation, and enthusiasm. And I think these are things that you're going to start to find as you work with this energy here. And as you sit in meditation and like really sit with this energy, I think you'll find that you'll find a lot more inspiration in your life. You'll feel that creation energy again and some enthusiasm for the things that you enjoy doing. Because I feel like there's things that you're doing that are probably in alignment with yourself here. However, the thought processes that are going on behind the scenes are kind of taking um, that joy, that inspiration, that enthusiasm out of those things for you, and that's a really sad. That's I don't want to say that, but it just feels a little. It hurts my heart a little bit to see. That's it's not fun. It's not fun for yourself either. It's not fun for yourself or for those around you. So let's see. We also got the Five of Pentacles here. And the Five of Pentacles is talking about isolation, poverty, poor health, insecurity. And maybe these are kind of the thoughts that are kind of ringing around in your mind a little bit, these negative thought patterns here. And I will say, if you're feeling called to it all, maybe take a look at pile number 2. I think there is a little bit of a message in there for you because we were talking about the sun energy here, which was all about like seeing things in a new light, trying to work through these negative thought patterns that may be going through our minds. I think there's probably some messages in there for you. So if you feel called to, go ahead and take a look at pile number 2 as well. And yeah, I mean, if we're really stuck in those insecure mindsets, especially those lack mindsets and stuff, it can be really hard um, to even take inspired action, right? I mean, you can feel really just apathetic and stuck in this in this proverbial cage, right? And no one wants to be stuck in a cage, absolutely. So yeah. Then we also have the Queen of Wands here. Now, for the Queen of Wands, it says it came out in reverse. Ow! Oh, that was an elbow hit. Came out in the reverse here. But we got this interesting like black cat here. This lady's holding a little sunflower, and she's got that big old staff or wand sitting in her hand as well. In the reverse, it says cold, jealous, aggressive, or domineering. So maybe that's a little bit of the energy that you've been sitting in or feeling, or maybe you've been and no shame in this, absolutely no shame in this whatsoever. These are human emotions that we all deal with, but it's all about how you relate with these things, and these things are ultimately here to teach you something. So if you can ask yourself, what are these emotions trying to teach me? or trying to show me within myself, then I think you'll start to be able to do that inner work, and it'll start to get the cogs turning, maybe in a positive direction for yourself. Um, but yeah, especially if you're feeling that feeling like aggressive for no reason, or domineering for no reason, or if you just feel like you're just like, nah, I don't want anything to do with any of this, blah 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 blah. If that kind of voice starts to come through, like kind of out of nowhere, especially if you've been like, if there really is no reason for that to be there, then I think that there's kind of a call to look within ourselves and sit with these energies a little bit and ask ourselves those questions of like, why is this coming up? What is this trying to show me? What, and like the important work there is sitting with the emotion and just asking the emotion what that is trying to show you. Where are you hurt? And trying to keep asking those deeper and deeper questions. That ultimately is the work, that is the inner work that we're trying to do here. And if you're struggling with those things, I would recommend maybe looking into therapy, or just trying to find somebody that you can talk to about these things as well. Okay. It can be really hard to talk to some people in your life, so that's why I suggest therapy. Of course, you can look at BetterHelp. It's it can be a pretty affordable option for a lot of people, and you might need to like me- find a therapist that actually works for you, and that process might be a little annoying, but even just having a space to talk to somebody else about some things may help work some things out for yourself, in a judgment free space. Yeah, or a space that's very intentionally judgment free. Because even if a space is judgment free with somebody, it can be easy to feel like, oh, well, that person's judging me anyway. So yeah, I feel like therapy is a great space to like realize like legally they can't judge me. So, so yeah, hopefully that kind of helps you out a little bit here. It sounds like we're really standing on the precipice of something really great here. And I feel like just a little bit of this work, maybe just there's just a little bit of an adjustment that needs to be done here, that um, will really help us step into alignment with ourselves and really bring in all this abundance and stuff that we truly want, and allow us to take those truly inspired actions that are in alignment with ourselves. Yeah, very beautiful stuff still. I'm sending you so much love, okay? Um, so let's get into our last little card here. This is from the Crystal Healing Tarot deck. And this is just a crystal that you might want to do some healing work with. But we got the crown chakra. Each of these are aligned with a different chakra in our chakra system. And this one's in alignment with the crown chakra. Now, what you got is purple fluorite here. Pretty cool looking crystal. Really looks really great. I love that purple vibe on there. Looks really cool. Honestly, I might want to pick some of this stuff up myself. It's really cool. Oh man, super itchy nose. I don't know if maybe that's just saying, "Oh, I'm on the nose" with something here. I don't know. Purple fluorite, it says harmonizing healer here, and the physical qualities that this helps you heal is blended colors bring versatility, supports healing of head injuries, brain tumors, seizures, epilepsy, and meningitis. Clears mucous membranes, treats breathing issues, colds, emphysema, pneumonia, helps address nerve disorders, ulcers, staph infections, and shingles. And then the emotional qualities here, it's uplifting, soothing, and deeply calming, brings devotion, balance, harmony, stabilizes scattered thoughts and emotions, strengthens creativity to support lucid dream work, and expanded mental, spiritual, and psychic awareness. Pretty cool stuff. And on the bottom here, it says, I am uplifted. So this might be especially like if you're having trouble with all these energies, maybe just a little bit of work with that purple fluorite might help you out here. Now, the little booklet here that comes with the crystal healing cards is really cool because it has a healing that you can do with these. Now, These healings do tend to call for quite a bit of these crystals. So if you're someone who has access to a lot of these crystals, then you might want to actually do this healing. But even if you don't, I would just want to point out that you don't need to have these crystals in order to do some of this healing work here. I think that they help amplify this stuff, but there's also a lot of power in just the visualization here and sitting in this meditation, especially like since we've been called to that visualization or meditation with that Four of Cups here. So, anyway, let's hop into this. So it says, surround your body with a circle of 6 or 8 purple fluorite crystals spaced 12 inches away from you, one over the head, one beneath the feet, one and 2 or 3 on either side of the body. Make sure that they are equidistant from one another. Lie down on your back within the circle. Place a purple fluorite on top of your head, one in the middle of your forehead, one on the heart chakra, one over each lung, and another just above your pubic bone. Excuse me. Breathe slowly. So this is where we get into like the actual visualization here. If you don't have these crystals, you can just do this visualization, and you're still going to get a decent benefit from this. Okay. Breathe slowly, relaxing with every breath. With each exhale, imagine yourself releasing negativity, visualizing it as gray light, sending it into the earth for positive transmutation. Release it first from your head and forehead, then your lungs and chest, your heart chakra, your belly, down your arms, out your fingertips, out your pelvic area, through the bottom of your spine, and out the bottoms of your feet. With every inhale, allow the purple fluorite energy to flow into each region, replacing the gray negativity with healing purple light. And even if you have just one of these crystals, just holding it and sitting in that meditation with this visualization could help you out a lot, and help you really work with that. All this stuff is very what works for you, you know? Anyway, we'll finish off here. It says, once you have finished, return your attention to your heart center, resting and breathing easily. Let every part of your body absorb the purple fluorite energy. If you experience wandering thoughts or intrusive feelings, let them go. Shifting your attention back to your heart center to continue absorbing the healing energy. Continue until you feel peacefully centered and balanced in a complete state of harmony. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely wonderful. I love that so much. If you got something out of this, I really hope that you did, and I hope that this helped. Even if it was just in a small way, I really hope that this helped. And if it did help you and you want to show your appreciation, you can go ahead and leave a like on the video, or leave a comment down below if you want to share where you're at in this journey. Maybe give some words of encouragement to anybody else who might be going through the same thing that you are, or have been going through, or whatever. And yeah, if you want to follow along this tarot journey with me, you can leave a subscribe, turn that notification bell on if you want to see whatever future uploads I post. Yeah, thank you so much for watching again. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this, okay? Awesome. I love you. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.